it all off with this week's Sci-Fi Best Bets.
This is the Sci-Fi Channel's weekly entertainment magazine with Deep Space Nine's Chase Masterson.
The new fall television season starts next week for 4 of Sci-Fi's most popular shows. The WB hit Buffy the Vampire Slayer starts its 3rd season, while top fantasy veterans Xena and Hercules return with new episodes. And in the final season of my show, Star Trek veteran Deep Space Nine, an important new character joins the cast. Here's a preview of the new seasons of these top shows. In last season's finale, Buffy the Vampire Slayer sent her ex-vampire lover, Angel, literally to hell. She also revealed her Vampire Slayer identity to her mom, and then ran away from home. This season, Buffy will return to Sunnydale from a summer on the streets. Angel will find his way back from the Netherworld to lay the groundwork for his own spin-off series, which will premiere in the fall of 1999. Meanwhile, this year there will be plenty of new undead villains. Plus, Buffy and her friends must confront one of the most terrifying things they've ever had to face: their senior year.
Anything new with you guys?
Now, while Buffy features a high school superhero, 2 other returning favorites inhabit the mythical realms of history: Hercules, the legendary Journeys, and Xena, warrior princess.
I get the feeling this is gonna blow.
In his 5th season, Hercules sets out on a quest of self-discovery that takes him far from his homeland.
So how are you finding Mesopotamia?
A little breezy.
The muscular hero will encounter cultures with their own gods and demigods, both good and bad. In Ireland, Hercules will battle evil druid deities, and in the land of the Vikings, he'll meet Norse gods like Thor and Odin. Herc's familiar friends and foes will also put in appearances to lend a hand. Xena begins her 4th season on the road, too. First, she's off to Siberia and the Amazon land of the dead to revive her recently deceased gal pal, Gabrielle. In subsequent episodes, Xena will engineer a battle between Caesar and Pompey, thwart a plot to steal the crown of Athena, and embark on a spiritual quest that leads to Egypt, Mesopotamia, India, and Jerusalem. Also returning next week is my show, Star Trek Deep Space Nine. It begins its 7th and final season.
Had a vision from the prophets.
This year, Sisko must rebuild his life after apparently destroying both the wormhole and the prophets. Nicole DeBoer joins the cast as Ezri, an inexperienced young Trill, who becomes the new host of the symbiont Dax.
Aren't you glad you brought me along?
Of course, Terry Farrell's character, Jadzia Dax, was killed off last season. This raises some interesting questions regarding Ezri's relationship to Jadzia's widower, Worf. After all, Ezri will inherit Jadzia's memories, along with those of Dax's earlier hosts. But the producers promise the Dax-Worf story won't overshadow the rest of the characters. The series will tie up as many loose plot ends as possible before it retires. But how they'll conclude the series is still top secret. When Deep Space Nine finishes its 7th season next spring, it will tie The Next Generation as the longest-running Star Trek series. Remember, the original Star Trek only completed 3 seasons of episodes. The stars of the latest teen horror screamer, Urban Legend, and the latest craze in mail order, build your own robot kits. That's next. Writers are always looking for a way to put a new spin on the old horror genre. And the makers of the movie Urban Legend have certainly found some terrifying ways to make your blood race and your heart skip a beat.
Bloody Mary.
Let's go, Natalie.
Yeah.
If you're a young, attractive actor with some TV experience, there's a lot of work for you in the hot teen horror genre. In the new film Urban Legend, the youthful cast helps recreate the often frightening modern-day folktales that are spread by word of mouth.
Wait a second. Isn't there another story about a guy with an axe hiding in a woman's back seat?
Hello. My mom still checks the back seat before getting into a car.
Many of Urban Legend's young actors saw what the horror genre did for Neve Campbell's career. The star of TV's Party of Five successfully made the leap into feature films by appearing in Scream.
Yeah, it completely worked. I mean, she was already, getting popular, and that movie was just, it jump-started her career. Now she's getting offers everywhere. You're seeing her in everything. So I definitely think that Scream and horror movie helped her.
The spirit of youth is prevalent throughout Urban Legend. The film's screenwriter, director, and its main cast are all under 30. Many of them believe horror films represent their age group more honestly than other types of movies.
Up until Scream, really, the idea of a well-spoken, intelligent, intellectual teenager was one that was not even just scarce, it just didn't exist. Scream came out and it gave this fresh take to teen movies, and it allowed these kids to be more well-rounded, more interesting, and more intelligent characters so that they weren't insulting anymore. That I, as a teenager, didn't sit there and go, I can't believe that they think that I would relate to this in any way, shape, or form.
I'll do it.
Joshua Jackson also stars in TV's Dawson's Creek and is just one of the film's cast members with a television background. Alicia Witt spent 4 seasons on the sitcom Sybil. Jared Leto appeared in My So-Called Life, and Michael Rosenbaum worked on The Tom Show. So why all the familiar TV faces in a horror film?
From a marketing perspective, it's useful because they've already got a degree of exposure out there, so for the studio it helps market those faces a lot more effectively than someone that's coming in cold. But from my angle, I've got some fresh faces in this movie, and I really like that about the film.
And action!
Like I said, he's all yours.
And while Urban Legend attempts to mimic Scream's success by serving up TV's young actors to the horror gods, it also offers a unique spin. The murders in this film are all based on urban legends. These tall tales have become staples of American culture, and everyone seems to have their favorite.
Probably the dog in the microwave. Well, the lady puts her dog in the microwave because she's late for a dog show to dry it off. And then pop, it blows up.
My mother, who was told by my piano teacher in a very serious tone of voice that earwigs crawl into your ears at night and eat out your brain while you're sleeping.
Pop Rocks and Pepsi Cola. Supposedly, if you mix Pop Rocks and Pepsi Cola, your insides will erupt and explode, and you will die if you mix them.
Mr. Brooks, please. He's going to explode!
If you have a favorite urban legend, email us at sfe@sci-fi.com. We'll turn them over to the makers of Urban Legend. Maybe your favorite legend will end up in a sequel. Robots have been entertaining sci-fi fans for years. From Maria in the 1926 film Metropolis to the mechanical man in this summer's Lost in Space, robots were always one of those creations that existed in the world of fantasy and make-believe. But not anymore. You can now build your own, thanks to the visionaries at a place called, what else? The Robot Store. Okay, hi.
Uh-oh,
Okay,
she makes a fast break for it.
And Masterson is running toward the 50-yard line. Okay. If we have party stores, cigar stores, and Halloween stores, then why not a robot store? This San Rafael, California company sells about 50 kits through the mail. The company's catalog lists a mind-boggling variety of mechanical beings. There are soccer-playing robots, robots which can sort M&Ms by color, solar-powered robots, robots that respond when you clap, light-seeking robots, and robots that see obstacles and avoid them. Roger Gilbertson is the president of Mondotronics Robot Store.
I remember my brother and I would make tiny robots. He found a system of beads at the bead store, and we could put together little robot arms and legs, and then nail polish caps, things Mom would be throwing out, or toothpaste caps would be bases or legs or grippers or heads. And then in college, I really wanted to do the real robots, and so I got into sensors and programming, and I had a ZX81 computer and figured out how to interface into that and build in extra stuff.
Ready, set, go.
Oh my God, it worked. Roger's goal was to create robots which would be powered not by motors, but something like muscles. One day, he stumbled across a material which could make his idea possible: muscle wire.
So we've got the muscle wire here is a black thread-like little wire. It's a nickel titanium alloy. A couple of AA batteries provide just 3 volts. We're going to pass the current through it by pushing the switch. When the current passes through the wire, it warms it up, and that causes it to shorten.
A number of the robot store kits use muscle wire, including Boris, a 6-legged mechanical bug designed by Roger. The wire, which is the company's signature product, caught the attention of the U.S. space program. NASA engineers used the material to operate a mechanical arm on the Mars rover.
We knew that it might have a chance of going to Mars, so we all touched the wire before we put it in the bag and sent it to them. And lo and behold, the mission was a huge success, landing on July 4th and functioning for many weeks and sending back a lot of data. And the muscle wire, all 2 inches of it, did the job that it was supposed to do.
The robot store's products incorporate many other bright ideas, too. The light-sensitive Sci-Bug knows how to feed itself.
Its basic function in life is to find light and to drive towards it. So if you set it up in a little dark area and you put a light bulb over here, it'll look around and it'll eventually make its way over to the light. Now, when you get to the light, you have little contact plates, and it happens to come up to those plates, it can charge itself up. And this way, if you set up the environment and the creature right, it'll stay alive all the time, just like with your hamster.
Roger says he's on a mission to take the automatons of science fiction and turn them into science fact. And he wants this effort to be a collaboration with his customers.
You can have a brilliant guy design a kit for you and sell you the kit and take advantage of their knowledge. Maybe even not brilliant. Maybe somebody who's went through a lot of hard knocks, like myself, figuring out what works and what doesn't work. Pass that on in a kit. Now people can go, add things that they already know and make something even better.
The headlines making news in sci-fi entertainment. And a behind-the-scenes preview of the futuristic action thriller Soldier. That's next.
Be sure to log on to the Dominion and check out Fee's cyber event. Enter the Dominion by going to www.scifi.com.
From futuristic films to tomorrow's technology, here are some of the headline-grabbing stories making news this week.
You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch.
Universal Pictures and Imagine Films have just paid a whopping $5 million for the rights to produce a live-action film of the Dr. Seuss fantasy classic, The Grinch Who Stole Christmas. Jim Carrey is the studio's first choice to play the Grinch, and Apollo 13 director Ron Howard will direct.
An audience's enjoyment really does depend a great deal on the quality of the presentation.
George Lucas has announced he will not give his upcoming Star Wars prequel the widest possible release. Lucas only wants the film shown in theaters equipped with state-of-the-art screening and sound systems. So 20th Century Fox, the film's distributor, now plans to put the new Star Wars film in only about 2,000 theaters next May 21st. In comparison, last summer's Godzilla debuted on more than 3,500 screens. Seagram Space Voyages, a Seattle-based travel company, is now taking reservations for civilian space flights. The Space Voyages package will include 6 days of education and training, followed by a 2.5-hour space flight. First launch is scheduled for December 1st, 2001, at a price just shy of $100,000 per passenger. For more sci-fi news updates, check out the online Sci-Fi Wire at www.scifi.com.
When you think of the fall season, television usually comes to mind. But in the midst of all the TV hype is a new, big-budget sci-fi thriller that should have audiences packing theaters when it opens next month. The movie is called Soldier and stars action stud Kurt Russell.
I'm playing a character that from birth is taken out of an orphanage and taken into a militaristic world. The guy just does not speak. He's never someone who's never been asked an opinion. He's never been asked to think. He's always simply been told what to do.
We have no doubt that you are a very good soldier. But because of your training, we don't think you'll ever be able to function in a group like this.
To prove he is still useful, Russell's character must battle another warrior, played by Jason Scott Lee.
Oh, we have a wonderful love thing going on now. We have mostly a competitive relationship in that he is of the older regiment and I am of the newer recruits, and he's the alpha male and I'm the alpha male from my group, and so those are the competitive odds, I think, that we come up against.
Directing Soldier is Paul Anderson, the English filmmaker who brought Event Horizon to the screen. Anderson confesses to being a hardcore science fiction fan, and he's clearly enjoying his time on this film.
I like creating worlds. I mean, I really enjoy that. And it's a lot of work to do that, but it's something that I really get off on. The thing I like about great science fiction movies, like Star Wars, it takes you to worlds you've never been to before, and it gets you thinking about these worlds. And what we wanted to do is create a fresh and different world for people that they'd never really seen before.
Send him up the chain, Rube.
Soldier! Up the chain! Sir!
To make Soldier, Anderson enlisted screenwriter David Webb Peoples and production designer David Snyder. Both Peoples and Snyder were key players in making the landmark sci-fi film Blade Runner.
Well, I really see Soldier as being a twin film to Blade Runner. I think it's taking place at the same time, and while Rutger Hauer is being hunted down by Harrison Ford on Earth, Kurt Russell is off in space.
Sci-fi fans will have fun trying to catch the sly references to Blade Runner scattered throughout Soldier's story.
We've had a little homage to it, and that there's Harrison Ford's car, the spinner that he drives in Blade Runner, is kind of hidden in our movie somewhere. It's on the garbage planet. It's trashed. And so is the Event Horizon, incidentally. They finally found it and they trashed it. So there's kind of like there's garbage, there's bits and pieces from a lot of other science fiction movies in this movie.
Anderson and others involved with the film feel confident that Soldier has something new to offer to genre fans.
An important story. It's a moral play. It's a morality play, really. And they're going to see some visuals that they haven't seen before, because Paul Anderson has a great visual sense.
I love that it's set in this science fiction type of a background, balancing interesting story within a great setting and an interesting world.
Get ready! Soldier opens in theaters on October 23rd. Sponsored by Best Western and the Sci-Fi Channel. The contest is in celebration of the channel's launch of the digitally remastered original Star Trek series, now seen weeknights at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, exclusively on the Sci-Fi Channel. The grand prize is a 7-day trip for two to Dusseldorf, Germany, to attend the premiere of the Star Trek World Tour, which is an incredible live Federation adventure featuring a walkthrough recreation of the USS Enterprise. Enter to win at any Best Western, participating budget rent-a-car locations, or log on to our Dominion website at www.sci-fi.com. You must be at least 21 to enter. Every week, we sift through a lot of with Robin Williams. Meet the new Dax from my show, Deep Space Nine, Nicole DeBoer, and celebrate the 30th anniversary of Night of the Living Dead with director George Romero. That's all the sci-fi we have time for this week. Join us next weekend for another edition of Sci-Fi Entertainment.
Now stay tuned for amazing stories next on the Sci-Fi Channel. Produced in association with the Sci-Fi Channel.